Ladies and gentlemen, and friends and colleagues, I will start to say that I was thinking if I should read this speech in a bad English or I should talk in a bad English. So you will get a bad English speech today. I will just start to say also that this project, so as conservators, as working with researcher, and of course this is for conservators that not often have access to scientific analysis was really important. The National Library collection, manuscript collection, that is an important collection, especially of Norwegian authors, in the golden age of Norwegian literature. And this is around the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. And of course, all the change between paper manufacture, ink manufacture is visible. We can find this collection sometime through the life and the work of one author. For example, Henrik Ibsen. And in our conservation activities, of course, ink is one important factor. And this is not only because of the preservation issue, but it's also because sometimes we are involved on the authenticity of documents. In 2008, we were discovering the collection forged manuscript. And this is led us to find a way to have more information of inks, paper, and other matter on security basis. And this, of course, the aims and the need of the National Library were different, and we should also, as a very practical as a conservator, we should get some observation and took some conclusion about our observation. And we have many interesting goals, like to be able to categorize inks and links them to a specific period of time, links the inks to an author, or establish an internal ink library, or question suspect forgeries, or suggest new investigation instrument. I can definitely say that this project born as a result of my life, work life, that is in different field and especially in different country. And we know that on the one hand we had the strong need from the National Library to know more about inks, and in the other way, we had the opportunity to have interesting discussion with colleagues in different fields. During my conservation school at the Fine Art Academy in Brera, I have discussion with colleagues from Politecnico in Milano that they deal with diagnostic on cultural heritage. And this we start to get some informal meeting and we draw up the first project, and they suggest us to send an applying for funding to the Laser Lab Europe, that is a consortium of 17 laser infrastructure that around Europe. This I do really quick because this is, we talked earlier about this, the history of the inks and the manufacture of inks of this period is really special because it's the most difficult period where we can find a lot of new inks, in some way bad quality inks, homemade inks, and synthetic dyes. So we went deep study of the recipe book, of the study books of the period, and so I will just point that this side study was really helpful for us to discover some element that was detecting in the later analysis, like for example chrome logwood, the so-called runge chrome logwood ink. And of course, the finding about the synthetic dye. This project was divided in two moments. The first step was in November 2013, and we decided at that time we don't bring original document. We just took with us sample paper. We have a collection of old paper and modern paper, and we have also a small collection of inks, bottle of inks from different place and period. And the analysis that were carried out, they didn't give us a really interesting result with these instruments because of strong luminescence, so it was very difficult to read the signal. So we went quick to the next step, and this was in 2015, so we didn't use, of course, all this time to study inks. We had other projects aside, but we decided to select a document from our collection. And we thought that this was important. We didn't have so long time because this is a small project, it has a small funding, and we had 1 week time to study these inks. And we gave the priority to maybe few examples, but we could carry out all the analysis. Then we decided, for example, to choose inks 2-3 letters for each 10 years. We choose letters that was written in Norway, and we choose maybe try to find a future in inks that were a little different. And this, in the end, we got 36 examples, but I know that I just heard that 36 example is good. We thought it was bad, but now we know that it was not so bad. So we had the first visual, how we call observation, and we recorded all the data about paper, about the inks in this 36 example. And we use also this, our video spectral comparator, that is a machine made mostly for forensics analysis. But the important of this machine that is, first of all, is very easy to use, and you have many different light sources, and you work with color filtration and with spectrogram and so on. So the two important aspects of this video spectral comparator was to use, for example, magnification. We use 16 and 30 magnification, and we use filtering about to provoke luminescence. In this case, the orange light made provoke luminescence in several inks. And in some more old inks, the luminescence was around the text in the so-called halo. So all the information were recorded in Survive, in a folder, and we took all this information with us to Milano. This is just a summarizing point about the color, the visual color of the ink and the visual luminescence in the inks. So the second step was June this year. And unfortunately, is not one of my friends from Milano that could take this part, because this is really not my field. But I try, so you will be nice again, so you will have not only a bad English, but you have also bad explanation in English. So let's see how it's going. I do quick and don't make any question after. So this was the important for them because they wrote everything, so at least I'm able to read. This multi-analytical approach for ink analysis. So you will see here what we have done. We have done also another like multispectral imaging, but the result was not really different from our video spectral comparator imaging. So this is some picture of the device. I just show because all the devices at Milano Politecnico were homemade. So they make the instrument by themselves. And it was one of the factors that was interesting for us, that they told us that maybe we can find a way to adapt our instrument to your needs. We are not arrived at that point yet. And so the Raman device and all the information were collected, and they made by themselves. They work on cultural age diagnostic, but they never work on inks analysis. So for them was the first step. Some example of Raman spectroscopy, I just go quick so you can read. Of course, these Raman frequencies due to the iron gold ink complex, the Raman related to the chrome logwood ink complex, and so on. I'm sorry I went too fast, but at least this was the X-ray fluorescence spectra, and the element was done both on paper and inks, and this is making evidence the element presence just in inks. And again, we are in chrome world. And they did this kind of conclusion that, of course, it is open to discuss, and we have, it was June last year, so we didn't have so much time also to talk. The problem is also different country, okay, there are phone, email, but is still some work to do. And of course, typical iron gold ink, we had logwood ink, iron gold ink and logwood ink plus element with chrome and iron and etc. Next step was this analysis, lifetime fluorescence, photoluminescence imaging. They explain really this, what is luminescence, what is near-infrared luminescence, but the important is what is photoluminescence lifetime imaging. And they use a laser to measure the decay kinetic of a photoluminescence emitted by a surface, in our case from ink. And they say that this gives a lot of good information about the photophysics nature of the element, of the material. Here is some of the results. And on the black and white image, you see near-infrared photoluminescence image and the near-infrared photoluminescence lifetime imaging. And for example, this was the time of the lifetime decay was important to see, for example, degradation complex, or to see the fluorophores emitted. And in this case, I should go not too fast. This was visible in the black and white picture on the border of the ink, but in the lifetime mapping is also visible under the written text. So this was one aspect. Also other inks that was not luminescence, maybe because of the paper itself was luminescence, could cover the emission. They had a really short lifetime decay, and this could be because, again, some presence of fluorophores in the written region, linked maybe to the degradation, or maybe linked to the logwood ink because of the hematein complex. Again, we went to, this, that we call in big group organic ink. Now we know that we can know maybe better, and this because they have very strong photoluminescence and they have a really short lifetime. But this analysis could not say more than that. Last example that is in chronological way was also, of course, easy to see by naked eyes, a blue point ink, and with the Raman was this phthalocyanine dye was detected. Conclusion, their conclusion, important of multi-analytical approach, the combined use of XRF and Raman spectroscopy, you could get important information. The near-infrared photoluminescence property on oxidation product of logwood ink, iron gold inks should study better, and logwood ink should be studied, get more attention. Our conclusion, the cooperation with Politecnico in Milano gave us a better insight into inks study. And of course, we say once more, we need a practical approach as a conservator. We cannot do more, can do in another way. So our visual observations are insufficient. The video spectra comparato gave important data regarding luminescence. Maybe we need a X-ray, XRF instrument, maybe. After we decide to work on the study of maybe all the work of a selected author, collect the data, investigate the author use of both inks and paper, develop an ink timetable related to him or to them, establish the really well-known ink library. But, of course, thanks to my friends and colleagues, and I'm really happy that I could be part of this short, and important project, and I hope that here is the right place to get some advice and suggest for future study. Thank you very much.